Ivan Eland is a senior fellow at the Independent Institute and director of its Center on Peace and Liberty. He joins me now also from Washington, D.C. Thank you very much for joining us. First time a former U.S. president has faced federal charges. How will all of this be seen politically at this point?
Well, I think the people in his own party, the Republican Party, will probably have a rally around the Trump effect, at least in the short and medium term. But as the campaign goes on, you may see even some of the Republican people peel away from him, supportive of him.
Right. I do wonder, what does it mean for Trump's chief political rival, President Biden?
Well, I think Biden is trying to stay out of it. There's a rule in American politics that when your opponent is having difficulty or imploding, you just stay silent. And of course, he does have to stay silent because otherwise he'll be perceived as meddling in the legal affairs. Technically, he's over the Justice Department, but the Justice Department is supposed to have be a little bit of independent from the president, unlike other cabinet offices. So Biden has not only a political interest, but a norm there not to interfere in the prosecution.
Right, and what are the next steps from now?
Well, I mean, we haven't seen what the actual charges are. There could be several charges, Espionage Act, removing government documents, which would prevent him from running for office, which is significant, or obstruction of justice. There are other ones too, making false statements, etc. So we don't know what the charges are, but he'll have to report apparently next Tuesday to Miami, not Washington, D.C., but Miami, to be arraigned on the charges in court.
I do wonder, what are the potential ramifications of all of this for politics in the U.S.? Can this affect Biden's voters, for instance?
Well, I don't think an indictment helps any candidate in the long term. You may get a short-term bump with his own supporters, but of course, his own supporters aren't enough to get him elected with the general electorate in the United States. So I think these indictments, the one in New York and so far the one in federal, and there may be more coming, they don't help him politically in the long term. I think you're already seeing some cracks in the support in the Republican Party, because we now have opinion leaders, the other candidates, that is, really criticizing him heavily, which we haven't ever seen before.
Ivan Eland, thank you very much for joining us.